You know what I realized lately is that a lot of us are literally talking ourselves right out of what we want, without even realizing it. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, welcome. If you are coming back, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you. My name is Cassie, and on this channel, we talk all things of healing, self-love, and self-care, and of course, becoming your dream woman. And yes, I have gotten my hair cut, and it feels so good to have kind of like a summer vibe this year. I also made a video to go in more details of this transformation that I'm going through and my haircut, so stay tuned for that. But like, seriously, do you constantly tell yourself that you are trying to lose weight? You are trying to change your life. You are trying to become a better version of yourself. Do you continue saying, oh, I'm trying to heal. I am trying to build my business. I am trying to be a better partner. I'm trying to stay consistent. Because if you are, I need you to hear me when I say this loud and clear, because this could keeping you stuck. That word trying might actually be the thing that is keeping you stuck in the same energy. And trust me, I say this with love because I'm that person. That's just what I've been going through for the last 6 to 8 months. And I didn't even realize it. I used to, constantly tell myself, yeah, I'm going to try tomorrow. I'm trying to get healthy. I'm trying to be more disciplined. I'm trying to learn all of this realtor stuff. I'm trying to become successful. And guess what my reality kept showing me? More trying, more struggling, more almost reaching to the end point, right? We're getting close, but never fully arriving there. And eventually I had to sit with myself and realize, wait a second. What if I am programming my mind to stay in this energy of trying instead of the energy of becoming? Because words matters. Your thoughts matter, and our identities matter as well. So if your mind is constantly hearing things like, I'm trying, then your reality is going to continue reflecting back that you're still trying. You're not achieving, you're not becoming, you're not embodying, but you're just trying. And that trying, oh, it is a trap. Because I think a lot of people, including myself, generally believe that saying that, I'm trying is actually a positive thing. It sounds responsible. It sounds motivating. And it sounds like you're actually making effort towards achieving that goal. But energetically, mentally, and identity-wise, you are still sitting there telling yourself that you're not there yet. And then your brain listens to that. Your brain actually listens to everything that you repeatedly say to it. So if every day you wake up saying, I'm trying to lose weight, your subconscious hears, she's someone who is struggling with weight loss. If you keep saying, I'm trying to become successful, your mind is hearing, she's not successful yet. If you keep saying, I'm trying to heal, your mind hears, she's still broken. And then we wonder why we stay stuck in this same cycle for years. And I'm telling you this right now, I struggled with this for years, especially with my weight loss, with my identity shifts, and with building the life that I actually wanted. Because I would get close, so close. Like the door would actually be cracked open for me and I could see the next level, but then somehow I would fall back into those old patterns. And now looking back at the whole entire situation, I truly believe part of it was because I never fully became the version of myself that already had it. I was still identifying as the woman who was trying. You have to like speak to yourself, to the world, to your mind, writing it on paper, everything like as it's already done for you. When I even say that, right, you have to speak in as it's already done. You can't just speak it once and then have all of these conflicting thoughts and beliefs that it's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to accomplish this, because then it's going to still keep you in that same energy of not having it. So you really have to stay consistent with retraining your brain to have different thoughts and different beliefs that you do have it and that it is possible for you, and that you do deserve it. So noticing that you're having these conflicting thoughts against what you're saying, I would definitely focus on doing a little bit more healing on your self-concept and making sure that you feel worthy enough of receiving these things. Now, right, I had to tell myself the other day, like, I am done trying. I am so done trying. And if anybody asks, like, no, I already have these things. I'm speaking as I'm already this successful business owner. I'm already fit and healthy. Like, I am done using the verbiage of trying and being in that energy. Because, that energy pissed me off so bad, to be honest, because, it felt very productive. It felt like I was doing the right thing. It felt good for the moment while I was working towards these things. But then what didn't feel good is when I got so close of reaching these different goals, and then boom, the door closed on me. That didn't feel good, because I was still in this trying mode, and I wasn't, really catching my thoughts to the best of my ability, apparently. I'm not a robot, so I don't know exactly, but that's what I'm assuming. My affirmations, but then I would have contradicting thoughts and beliefs throughout my day, just from, kind of that stemmed from my past circumstances and things like that, was, I guess, and this is something that you need to be careful of as well. Like, God will test you and try to see if you're going to catch them or if you're going to keep them, right? And so if you keep them, that means that basically you're still like, you haven't really learned that lesson and you're still believing in those beliefs. Once you start catching those things and you're like, no, I'm not, that's not part of me, then, God will say, okay, I see you. You're paying attention. You're learning. You've got this. Let's now go to the next level, right? Honestly, like last year, I was at my goal weights. Like I lost the weight. I did all of these things and I achieved the goal. But then I let that old version of me get into my head and tell me things, which created me to revert back to my old version of myself. And then the same stories looped, and I believed it because it's been the same story that I've been hearing for years on end. So be careful with that, okay? Sometimes you've heard it for so long, it's normal for you. And so that's where you have to be like, yeah, no, we're not going to accept this anymore. We are going to get rid of this. And then rebuke it, try to heal it. I've healed it lots of times, but obviously, I still accept it in some shape or form, because it was part of my identity, right? But I'm no longer allowing this trying business and all of those struggles that came with the trying to be a part of my identity anymore. Going to talk is like, I already have all of my goals, right? Yes, I have my dream body. I have my dream business. I have the love of my life. Like, I have everything that I want, instead of, I'm trying to do these different things. Honestly, every successful person that I've talked to, read about, or listened to, like especially at an entrepreneur level, every athlete even, and author, they all had like persona that they were going to win. They all had like this alter ego and went through this process of being the successful versions of themselves before they even won a Super Bowl, before they, made it to the championship, before they became the number one seller or author of the New York Times and things like that, right? You have to just be delusional in this sense and just keep on telling your mind and keep on, rewiring your brain. So then it starts believing it. And then what happens is when you start telling your brain this so many times, then your mind will start looking for all of the things that says, yeah, she is successful. Yeah, she does have this successful business. And, then you start attracting different things into your life instead of, constant struggle, and that you'll never achieve these things because you're constantly trying, and in that trying energy, you just sit there and you go around the same, wheel over and over again. Other thing with this is, rewiring your brain, is that you definitely have to start believing that it's yours before you will see it in your 3D reality. You have to truly believe that this is a possibility for you and that you can have it. Because if you don't, then you're never going to have that positive feeling, that positive sense of self-worth for it, and then you're going to contradict yourself, and then you're going to stay in this staying energy. Because, unfortunately, part of our human design, right, was our minds was created to kind of keep us safe. This is something that not too many people really talk about, but your brain is going to fight you when you start changing your identity, because your mind loves the familiarity of what was. So even if your current living situation is stressful, even if you're unhappy and it's truly really not a safe place for you, but you're still alive, so it is considering it being safe, or even if you are struggling financially or emotionally, your brain still sees it as a safe space for you because it's familiar. You're accepting it, you're alive, and it's just going to keep you there. So you have to really be brave and courageous, because what is going to happen is that, your mind is going to continue to try to pull you back to where you were. And you're going to have to, really fight it, because it's going to start bringing up things like, oh, what if you fail? What if people judge you? What if this doesn't work out for you? What if you embarrass yourself? And then the old habits start creeping back in, and those old thoughts, old emotions, old stories, because your mind, wants to return to that identity that it is familiar with, that it knows. And that's why becoming your dream version of yourself requires becoming comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I know that sometimes all of this transformation and becoming your dream woman, it can suck sometimes, and it can definitely feel exhausting. Exhausting because you got to continue working on yourself. You're like, dang, I got to work on myself again. That's how I kind of felt recently. I didn't feel like I had to work on myself again because I already worked on myself. But see. Don't let your mind try to tell you no, because that's what happened to me. My mind was like, oh no, you're fine the way that you are, But really, because it's trying to keep me safe, but really, it was keeping me in a place where I don't want to be, right? I'm not truly living the life that I truly desire in this current space that I'm in. I am not, I'll be honest. I'm not a fake and phony. I'm not. So, you know, I am my dream version of myself, right? Because for the most part, because I've done a lot of healing. I have self-worth. I love myself and all of those amazing things. All great, right? Because that does help give you momentum and things like that to get to the dream life portion of it. But, you know, there's still quite a bit of rope to climb to get to that dream life place that I want to be. If you stay comfortable, you know, you got to look around at your current circumstances. And that's what comfort has created for you. And I don't say this to be judgmental. I say this, you know, honestly, because a lot of people are actually living lives that make them very unhappy, but they've become emotionally comfortable with their current circumstances. Are comfortable in that chaos. They are comfortable in the struggle. They are comfortable in the inconsistency that they have in their life. And they are unfortunately comfortable with their self-doubt. Not because they like it, but because they know what to expect even in this unhappy world that they are living. And changing, you know, your life requires stepping into the unknown. It requires becoming someone that you've never been before. And it also requires changing your internal conversations. So stop telling yourself that you are trying. So if you have been struggling, if you have been feeling frustrated, and if you feel like you keep starting over again, I want you to start paying very close attention to your words, right? Because you may literally be tricking yourself and staying stuck like we kind of talked about earlier. Because you keep saying, I'm trying, and your reality keeps responding with, okay, here's more trying. No more with that trying talk, right? Done with trying. We are being, we are doing, and we are embodying. We don't need to wait for this special Monday. We don't need to wait to next month, January 1st, or, you know, any perfect circumstance. You can decide today is the day that you are going to change your life. The moment that you hear this message, the moment that you say, yes, I have had enough, this can be the moment for you to actually change your life. So start saying a different story. This moment forward, right? Stop saying that I'm trying to become healthier and say, I take care of my body. Stop saying, I am trying to build my business, and say, I am a successful business owner learning and growing every day. Stop saying that you're trying to be confident and say, I'm becoming more confident every single day. You see how even switching that sound, it just sounds a lot better, right? That you are becoming more confident, not trying, but becoming. And becoming is such a positive word to use when you are talking about energy and growth and expansion. Another thing is, you know, stop saying like, I'm trying to heal, right? Say, I'm healing and creating a beautiful life for myself. Your words matter, your identity matters, and your thoughts create your reality. And the more you persist with the story of you already being in this identity, of the version of you who already, you know, has it, the faster that your external world will start catching up with you. I just wanted to come on here and remind you to stop talking like your dream life is so far away. Stop talking like you are incapable of achieving your dreams. Stop talking like success is for everybody else besides you. And stop talking like you are currently working towards something, right? So you're no longer trying anymore. You are. You are becoming. You are evolving. You are shifting. You are growing. You are worthy. And now we start showing up as that version every single day of ourselves. Small actions, new thoughts, new habits, new identity. Because your dream life is created through the version of you that decides, I am already her. So I love you guys. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.